You are what you are seeking. All the wrong ideas about yourself is falling apart, falling out. And all is left here is a sense of space. And still the feeling I am is in that space. Still the feeling I exist is in that space. This is the grand discovery. Because what we are afraid of losing is you're afraid of losing consciousness. More than you're afraid of losing the body. You don't need to go on a course for this. You're aware of the sense of existence. I am. This is natural. The feeling I am. Ordinarily, we are taking the feeling I am to be a person, to be unique or distinct, to be male or female. But really, it is not that. The body is male or female. The body was born. The body grows and evolves and changes. And the I am tastes all these changes through the body. But the I amness itself, is it a body? The feeling of presence in the form that you take to be yourself, that you call I. When you say I, it is referring to presence. But somehow this presence gets associated very strongly with the body through conditioning and education, and then the presence is taking itself to be the body. Then it says, I was born in this year and I went to school here, these are my friends, this is my family, my past was like this, my future will be like this. It speaks like that. So it is hanging out in the modification of being a particular person. But really, strictly speaking, it is not a person. I wonder if you see this. And so gradually, through these type of investigations, it is recognizing itself again. That I am not what I have been taught I am. Because I can observe these qualities. And the moment there is observing, there's a sense of distance. If there's no distance, there cannot be any observing. If it can be observed, there's already some space, some distance. And that space will be felt as peace and joy. Because you are not caught in the trap that you are the thing that you are observing. These things have to be said over and over again sometimes. Because so repetitive has been our schooling into ignorance of who we are, that repetition is required to remind you, you're not this thing. You're not this thing. You're observing this thing. Please remember. What you're observing effectively is presented as a phenomenon. You cannot be that. That which is observing everything is capable of observing everything. Any form. Also it can observe physical forms, elemental forms. And the same power is able to observe subtle forms of feelings and sensation. It doesn't have to change itself to now look at emotions. It's the same thing as looking at emotions. Looking at the sense of time or space. The same thing looking at objects. The same thing looking at angelic beings. The same power, the same observer is doing it. Can this observer itself be observed? This is a question. Can it be seen? The sense of the observer feels totally intimate for you. More closer than intimacy, as I said before. Like your own self. You're observing. You feel I am observing everything else. But if you are observing with self-interest, then it means that that observing is not completely pure. It's a bit biased. It has preferences. If it has preferences, it's not entirely clear or pure. If it has qualities, it means that it itself is a phenomenon. And a deeper seeing, free from association with quality, is able to perceive this. I don't know if you follow this. This line of questioning is the most important thing. Because what will happen and what is happening as you look like this, all the wrong ideas about yourself is falling apart, falling out. And all is left here is a sense of space. And still the feeling I am is in that space. Still the feeling I exist is in that space. This is the grand discovery. Because what we are afraid of losing is you're afraid of losing consciousness more than you're afraid of losing the body. When there's no physical or emotional or sensational activity, or not just activity, but forms to associate with, still the feeling I am is present. And that I am is felt internally like space, not as excuse me, not as object. And this is a significant finding. When you realize that your being is not an object, then you are free from object fear. I wonder if you're seeing this. What is your experience? Again, like space. You are like space moving through space. How beautiful. Mostly we are regarding ourselves as objects. We're in conference with each other as objects. I am this, you are that. This is our conversation. That's why it's called awakening. You see, wake up from this dream, this hypnosis. You are what you are seeking. When this I exist feeling, this I am feeling, is not in correspondence with any other feeling, when it's not identified or associated with any other feeling, and stays by itself only, when it marinates in itself, that is pure meditation. It means like this, only peace will prevail, space and joy. This is what is the fragrance coming out of that. And this most noble principle, the feeling I am, you said also, very smoothly, you say, something is aware of even this feeling, I am. So if there is awareness of I am itself, then that awareness must also be subtler than I am. And this I would call your own self. Mostly we are regarding ourselves as objects. We're in conference with each other as objects. I am this, you are that. This is our conversation. When you realize that your being is not an object, then you are free from object fear. So repetitive has been our schooling into ignorance of who we are. That repetition is required to remind you, you're not this thing.